Hello everyone, welcome back. My name is Joe, and today I'm going to be giving you tips and tricks on how to get used to playing an extended range guitar. If you're a 6-string player and you would like to start playing a 7-string or an 8-string even, but you don't know where to begin, this video is for you. For this demonstration, I will be using my 8-string tuned to drop E. However, you can use these tips for 7 strings, even 9 strings, in any of the common tunings that you will find. That being said, let's begin. Before we continue, I want to go over the tuning that I'm in. From low to high, that's E, B, E, A, D, G, B, E. The first thing I would say to everyone, remember, all the theory that you already know is still there and has not changed. For example, the humble E power chord. It's still there, still in the same spot. However, what changed is the reference point. Because we now have 1, or in my case 2, extra strings above it, you now have to pick more carefully and be a little bit more cautious when playing it. Otherwise, you'll hit extra strings. Another thing to keep in mind, a lot of these guitars have the strings a little closer together. That way the neck isn't quite as wide as it would normally be. You might not notice it at first, but it's definitely something to be aware of and to take into account when you're playing. In fact, one of the first things I would say to do before you even try to add the extra strings is just play all the stuff you already know, including songs that you already know. Even if they were not meant for an extended range guitar, do it anyway. And the reason is, by doing that, you are getting used to the new reference point, and you are getting used to seeing what those familiar shapes look like on the new fretboard. Even though the shapes are all the same, because there's an extra string or two, they do look a little different. At least to me they do. So, before we start adding in the new strings, just play all the songs you already know and get used to that new reference point and the way the neck feels. A good way to start adding in the extra low strings is to take all the scales and arpeggios that you already know and simply work backwards. For example, take the A minor pentatonic scale. On a normal 6-string, it would end right here. But if you have a 7-string with a low B, remember, that low B is the same as the high B, just an octave lower. Just like your low E and high E on a 6-string. Because of that, all the patterns that you do on your high E and high B string, such as they all can be moved to the low B and low E. If you have an 8-string, you can take this even further. Like so. This is actually one of the reasons I like drop E, because in F sharp standard, I would have to move down here to the 3rd fret to play the low A, but because my low 8th string is dropped down to the same as the E, It's basically like drop D on steroids. Here's an example with an arpeggio. I'm going to take the A major triad arpeggio, and same thing, we'll start at the top and work our way back. So there's the normal 6-string arpeggio we all know. On a 7-string, you can grab that next E right here on the 5th fret, and then you go down to the 2nd fret to grab that C sharp. Now, if you're on an 8-string and drop E like I am, you can actually grab the low A and complete it down here. If you're in F sharp standard on an 8-string, your A would actually be down here on the 3rd fret. One of the reasons I like drop E is because since it's an extra E string, all the notes are the same. Just like on the low B string, you have the same notes, just an octave lower and in a slightly different spot. With chords, the main thing to worry about with chords, especially if you're playing with overdrive or any type of distortion like I am, when you get into this lower register, that's when you can get real muddy and you end up interfering with the bass. So what a lot of people will do is they might drop out a note or two to let it clean up and let the overtones fill it in. For example, if I'm doing like a low A chord, sure, I can grab all the notes, but if I want it to sound not as muddy, I can actually leave out that 5th on the low end and just grab the notes up here. That way I let the overtones fill in, and it doesn't take in too much space. What a lot of 8-string players will do is they'll actually do octaves on the low end. It sounds much cleaner, and you let the overtones fill in the rest. The main thing, like I said in the beginning, or one of the main things, is getting used to that new reference point, and also remembering that at the end of the day, it's the same notes, just in a different spot with a new reference. Hopefully you guys found this video useful. If you have any questions or comments, please let me know. I'll see you all next time.